Welcome to Rise and Shine, your daily business tech boost with me, Charly Leetham. If you're a small business owner looking to simplify technology and get real, actionable advice from someone with 35 years of IT experience, you're in the right place. Every episode, I'll dive into tools and systems like email, CRM, marketing and tracking, and I'll break them down into bite-sized tips you can use straight away. Your time is valuable, so let's get straight to the point. It's time to work smarter, not harder. Rise and Shine. It's your daily dose of business tech inspiration with me, Charly Leetham. Episode number 549. I'm taking a break from Zoho today. Probably will for the next couple of days. Maybe. I'll see. We are going to be talking a little bit more about multi-factor authentication, securing your accounts, and passkeys. Now, today is about passkeys. I want to start touching on those. And the reasons I want to be doing this is a couple of reasons. First of all, Microsoft are going through the process of doing two things. First of all, they are telling all resellers in Australia that if they want to keep their reseller status or their distribution status, all of their clients must have two-factor authentication enabled. We can't get out of it. They can't get out of it. We can't get out of it as resellers. They're working very closely with the Australian government, and this is the decision that has been made. So if you have a Microsoft account, you will be getting notices from your resellers, from your distributors, from Microsoft itself saying you must enable two-factor authentication. Whether you want to or not, you're going to have to do it. I'm sorry, that's just the way it is. Now, what is two-factor authentication? I've done a couple of episodes on this, so we're going to just quickly cover it. And then I'm going to encourage you to find the episode. I may even get it linked in the show notes about what it is. But two-factor authentication pretty much is something you have and something you know. Something you know and something you have. You know your password, you know your username and your password. You have a device of some form, like that didn't come up into the screen, that's okay. Like your mobile phone or your tablet or even a dongle that when you use it, it gives you a number or a code. And when you log in with your username and password, it says enter your authentication code, and you put that code in. That's something you have. You have to have that device to be able to get the code. Yeah, you end up knowing the code, but you have to have the device to be able to get the code, to be able to use the code. That code is regenerated. I think it's once every 60 seconds. So it doesn't sort of sit there as this is the only code. It does regenerate. It changes every 60 seconds. So what the idea is that you know your username and password. The only reason you would have the code is you have access to the authentication device that you're using. Now, that is typically your mobile phone. They may allow SMS authentication. They may also not allow SMS authentication. I've had some accounts where I can't use SMS as my secondary method of authentication. I've had to install an authenticator app. With Microsoft, they recommend that you use their authenticator app, Authenticator. You can, however, if you don't want to just use the Microsoft app, you can use Zoho OneAuth, which is what I use. You can use Google Authenticator as well. They're the three that I'd probably recommend. There are others out there, but they're the three I'd recommend. And the reason I'd recommend them is they're by reputable companies. There is a higher degree of them not doing something wrong with it, and there's a higher security on it that it won't get compromised. I know. I'm not. Don't sound very positive here. I just want to make sure that I'm giving you really accurate information and explaining why you would want to do one thing over another. Now, some of you are going to be very tempted to go to the App Store and put in authentication app and just take something that isn't one of those. Please be very careful. I'm not going to say don't do it, but please be very careful that you understand who is running that application, that authenticator app, what their security is, where they're located, all of those things. Please just be very careful. You're basically handing keys to the house, keys to your castle to someone when you're doing this. So yes, two-factor authentication, it's going to be required. We have been able to get away with it on some of our accounts for a very long time. We are going to see more and more and more of our accounts to require it. Microsoft's going to require it. I'm sure Google is at the point of you must turn two-factor authentication on. Zoho will eventually go that way as well. You don't have to have it on at the moment, but eventually you will. So that's what two-factor authentication is. Now, there is also an announcement by Microsoft that they are doing away with password logins, and they are going to a thing called Passkeys. This is a new, Passkeys have been around for a very long time. They just haven't had a lot of airtime. Some of us will get prompts saying, do you want to set a passkey for this website? I normally say no, because it normally gets saved to my computer and then it doesn't replicate across my devices. And then when I try to log in, it says use your passkey. I'm like, I don't have my passkey on this device. So there's a few things that we're going to have to do around that. But Microsoft is moving away from password login. They're going to passwordless login, and they're going to require you to use passkeys if you are using the Microsoft Authenticator. It's July now, so you will find that as of now, if you go to a site and you've been using Microsoft Authenticator and you've been trying, and you normally use it to log in, you say just autofill this with my username and password, you can't do that anymore. They've turned that off. Next month, they're actually going to be removing the passwords from your Authenticator app. So if you have been using your Authenticator app as your password manager, save your passwords. Get them out. Save your passwords. They're going to be removed from the app. Now, they are going to move them to Edge, and you're going to have to use the Edge login, the Edge application the Edge add-on to access it and save it with Microsoft. Look, I could just be paranoid about it, but I really hate the idea of storing my passwords in my browser. It's something that's come from many, 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 many years ago, and I just really hate it. I don't want to do that. I want to keep them in my password manager. I want to control them. I don't want them to be saved in a browser. That's me. But if you are using Microsoft Authenticator and you have your passwords saved in Authenticator, get them out. Take a backup, get them out, write them down, do something with them, save them off, because they will be removed from your Authenticator. What Microsoft are doing with their Authenticator app is enabling passkeys, and I think we are going to be seeing that across a lot of other providers in the very near to medium future. What are passkeys? Okay, I'm going to read from my notes so I don't get it wrong. Passkeys are a digital credential that are tied to a specific website or application. They require some form of biometric or a device PIN to unlock them. So biometric, your Face ID or your fingerprint. They are stored on your device's secure enclave. I hate it when they use jargon. Enclave. So on your different types of devices, so on an iOS device, you have an iCloud keychain. On Google devices, like your Android devices, you have Google Password Manager, and on Windows, you have Windows Hello. I'm sure at some point you've seen all these pop up on your screen and gone, what the hell are these? So they are called, surprisingly enough, your digital devices secure enclave. And these passkeys are stored in those enclaves. They can't be phished. This is the big thing about them. They can't be phished. It only works on the site or app it was created for. What are they really? They are a certificate key pair. They're a digital credential. They are literally a file that is stored in these enclaves. I'm trying not to use the jargon in these areas. And they're a certificate key pair. So you've got a public certificate that is used to identify the site that you're connecting to. Then you have the encryption key on in your enclave. And when you go to log in, and this is not 100% the way it works. Okay, I'm trying to make it as simple as possible. But when you go to log in, it says this is the certificate, and you say in your devices, this is the key, this is the lock, this is the key. It works. Let's let you in. Okay, so it's a digital credential that has two parts to it. Part of it is stored on the site, and part of it is stored in your um, your, your secure area, your secure enclave. They say that it can't be phished. Okay, I'll take that at face value. Why are they saying we should be using them? So again, I'm reading from notes here. Why are they saying we should use them? There's no passwords to remember or type. It's more secure. It is resistant to phishing. I prefer that term, by the way, rather than it can't be phished. It's resistant to phishing. I'll come back to that thought in just a moment. You can't credential stuff it, and you can't breach databases to get access to it, because even if you get access to part of it, you still need the key to unlock it. Why am I happier with it saying resistant to phishing and not can't be phished? Because eventually everything can be hacked. Eventually. You build a smarter mousetrap, build a better mousetrap, you're going to get smarter mice. And, this information is really, really valuable information. And because it's really, really valuable information, people are going to be trying hard to get it. So it's resistant to phishing. It's not entirely impossible to phish it. You can use it for quick. One of the other benefits that's being touted here is it's great for quick login. You can use your biometrics or device to unlock it. And it works across the three systems, Apple, Google. So Apple, iOS, Android, and Microsoft, and it can be synced. So I can save something in my, when I set it up properly, which I'm going to be doing, you can save it on your Windows PC, and it will also sync to your iPhone and to your Android and to your tablet and to your other PC. So remember what I said earlier, is like, I don't want to set it up because I don't have it set up so it syncs across my devices. So I go to my phone, I'm like, I don't have access to that. That's what it is. So you can actually get it to sync. How do you do it? I think I'm going to have to do separate episodes on these. Maybe I'd love your love your thoughts. Do you want me to run through how you might set this up? I could only ever show you how to set it up on a screen share using my PC at the moment, mostly because Android Android devices have a security feature that don't let you show screens like that. No matter what you're doing, I have to actually do some real work to get that working, and I can't get it working at the moment. But if you think it might be interesting to see how you might do it, at a minimum, Google how do I set up passkeys, or go to ChatGPT and put in how do I set up passkeys. I may even actually put this ChatGPT stuff that I've got here into the show notes for you. The two things that you do need to remember, it looks like Apple, and remembering I'm not an Apple girl either. Like, I'm just not. Basically, it looks like passkeys are enabled as default on your iOS devices. So when you log in and it says choose login with a passkey or create a passkey, choose that option, authenticate using Face ID or Touch ID, and that passkey is automatically stored in your iCloud keychain, and that syncs automatically across all of your Apple devices. For Android devices, you need to turn on Google Password Manager. Now, that will be in your settings. When you are prompted to create a passkey, use a fingerprint or screen lock option, and your passwords will be saved to your Google account and synced across all devices. On Windows, you need to use Windows Hello. I believe that's turned on as standard in Windows. You are often prompted to just save your passkeys, and they're saved on your Microsoft account and synced across all your Windows devices. So you can sync them across the devices that way. I am actually going to do something about how they are synced across multiple devices. it looks like you'll be able to scan a QR code. I'm going to go and do some investigation on it. I just really wanted to get out that today, as of now, Microsoft are changing the rules again. So I will do how you do this across multiple devices as my next episode, actually, or one of my next episodes, just to cover that off. But you do need to be considering this. Now, things to keep in mind: not all websites or applications support passkeys yet. It is rolling out. So Microsoft is kind of pushing it and saying, we're going to use passkeys in your authenticator. That's great. Not everything has a passkey enabled. I don't know how that's going to work. You may need to enable passkeys in your account security settings. You should back up your keychains so you don't lose access. Again, that sounds like a great episode for me to do. So passkeys. So a couple of things to think about. One, whether you want to or not, go and enable multi-factor authentication. That's the best piece of advice I can give you on all your accounts. Just enable it, get your authenticator set up, get used to using it. Please use an authenticator. I know a lot of you say, I'll just use SMS. Yeah, okay, you can. One of the reasons I would recommend that you don't is if you are in an area where you don't have mobile service, which in Australia is quite a large portion of the country, you won't ever get your SMS. So if you're using SMS as two-factor authentication and you've got data because you've got Starlink, or you've got Wi-Fi from someone's house, but you don't have mobile service, because you can have that without having mobile service, how are you going to get your two-factor authentication if it's via SMS? Use your authenticator. Install an authenticator on your phone. Get used to using it, or on your tablet. Get used to using it. It's the best advice I can give you. Go and enable passkeys. Go and do your research on passkeys. Start to get used to using them. Work out how to back them up. I'll give you as much advice as I can on it. Work out how to back them up. Make sure you understand how they work. Make sure you know where they're saved and how to get them across your devices. Because I think, like Microsoft, we are going to see a lot of large providers go to using passkey login, and we won't have usernames and passwords to worry about, or we won't have passwords to worry about anymore. Just some thoughts, just my gut feel on where I see this going. I'm all for security. I think being as secure as we can on our accounts is a good idea. If companies are going to be saying this is what we need to do to use you and we want to keep using them, then we're just going to have to do it. I do think security is a good idea. I think you should be as secure as you can, and I think you should be ahead of it and setting your own boundaries and understanding how things work before you are forced to do it. Okay, what do you guys think? How do you feel about all of this? Are you seeing with your Microsoft Authenticator apps already that you can't log in automatically? Have you had the notice to say that your passwords are going to be moving to Edge and you won't be able to access them through your Authenticator app? Are you running a separate password manager? That's your other option, is you also run a separate password manager. I use Zoho OneAuth. Nope, I use Zoho Vault on my for my passwords. You can also use things like RoboForm, KeyPass. There's a couple of others. There's one out there, I won't mention its name, that I really don't recommend because they've been hacked so many times. I just don't trust them anymore. A couple of my clients do, so I have to, but only for those clients, because that's the ones that my clients use, despite my best advice to them. But what do you guys think? Let me know. If you've got questions, comments, feedback, come across to my community, askcharlyleetham.locals.com. Ask the questions there, start to develop conversations around these things. You will be surprised what you can learn from myself and from others. I don't want to just sort of sit here and say, you can only speak to me. The idea of the community is it's a community. I want you to be able to ask questions about your tech for business, understand things a little better. If I can't answer the questions, I'll say, I don't know. I'll go find out, or see if I can find someone who can find it, or point you in the right direction to find out. But you can also, other people have got great ideas on how to do things too, because we all have different ways of working. So come join my community. That's the whole thing of this. AskCharlyLeetham.locals.com. You can also leave comments wherever you're watching or listening to this video. If this video was useful to you, can you give it a like? I'd really appreciate that. And if you haven't already, please subscribe to the channel and ring the notification bell to find out when I drop more content. Thanks, guys. Talk to you later. Hey there, thanks so much for tuning in to Rise and Shine, your daily business tech boost. I hope today's episode gave you some actionable insights that will make your business tech work smarter for you. If you found value, be sure to subscribe, leave a review, and share it with other small business owners who could use a daily boost. For more tips, tools, and resources, visit www.askcharlyleetham.com. Until next time, keep rising, keep shining, and let's make tech simple together.